Everybody, and welcome to the June 2023 Education Updates. So, as usual, we'll start with our quote, and this quote is "Change is the end result of all true learning" by Leo Buscaglia. And that's perfect because we want to learn, we want to improve ourselves as nurses, as providers, or as caregivers, and in order to do that, we need to adapt to change, right? So, it's a perfect quote and kind of in line with us as ED nurses. As far as new staff, I want to welcome Joanna Elder. She's a new PRN nurse working at LPH, and that is it for new hires there. Broomfield, we are interviewing a ton of people. We have some positions open. No new hires for this month yet, but be on the lookout because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of new faces that are going to be welcomed at Broomfield here soon as well. Want to talk about LPH Trauma Advanced Skills Lab. We have finalized some dates. The July for sure is finalized. July 13th from 0800 to 1200. That same day, July 13th from 1600 to 2000. We're going to have our first Advanced Skills Day. As a reminder, we are piloting a new system where we are going to be having one skills day per quarter with both an AM and a PM session. And this is a requirement for all ED nurses, PRN, part-time, full-time, whatever you work in an ED. If you're an ED tech, a paramedic, a nurse, doesn't matter. It is a requirement for all clinical staff. So please plan ahead. Do not wait for last second to do these. We are going to have one in Q4 just before the end of the fiscal year, but just don't miss it. Don't wait till last second because always the last one is going to be the one that's going to be most packed. So try to get this done early so that way you have it out of the way and you have all the skills checked off. This is going to be a great opportunity for you guys to have practice with those trauma skills that are required for us to maintain our trauma criteria or trauma certification, as well as we're incorporating a lot of the skills that you guys have been asking for. So this is going to be your opportunity to get hands-on with those. After the July session, we have an October session, October 12th. More details on that. The July session is live in ULearn, so you can go and sign up by searching for LPH Advanced Skills FY24. You'll notice that there's a lot of sections in there, and that is because it is broken down by having 5 individuals start every 15 minutes. So that way we have groups that are the right size and we don't have groups of 1 person and groups of 10 people and then it's all over the place. So every 15 minutes 5 people can enter, and that's how it is built in as far as signing up. So you'll notice there's 5 seats per section there, or per session. And then on the right side here, you'll see there's this flyer. This flyer, I'm still waiting to get approval to completely send out to you guys. So this is a little sneak peek of what it's going to look like. So be on a lookout in your emails. It'll include the QR code that you can just scan and you can easily sign up for whichever session it works for you the best. Next thing I want to talk about is the trauma simulation in BFH. That is quickly coming up on the 22nd of June. We have a really cool trauma plan for you guys. The start time for the simulation is at 0800. Please be there a few minutes early so that way you can get your stuff settled and you're ready for the briefing right at 0800. We're starting sharp at 0800. And then we're going to move right into our simulation and then a debrief right after. Of course, LPH staff are welcome to sign up and join us for that as well. This is not a requirement, but it's highly recommend that you guys attend this. This is a perfect opportunity to actually get in on those situations that we don't often see at Broomfield or LPH, and that we might not be very comfortable with, where you can be in a very controlled and safe environment where you can test your skills and make those mistakes in the simulation environment, so that way we can all correct them and all learn from them. And no one's going to judge you for that, because this is truly a learning environment, and it's a great opportunity for you guys. And of course, I'm going to be offering 1 CE for attendance and participation in this as well. Next, I want to talk about is just a reminder about the annual competency assessment plan. The due date for that is at the end of this month. Please make sure that you are collecting all of your stuff to show proof of work, build it into a nice little portfolio, and you will present that at career conversations. I truly just build the annual competency assessment plan. I don't collect any of that stuff. This is for you guys with your leadership team to show that you have completed all that stuff and you met all the requirements for your career conversation. So very likely you're going to be having your career conversation with one of the charge nurses. So make sure you have that ready for that day, that meeting, presented to them to show that you have completed all that work. And just as a reminder that this is not just for RNs, this is for EMTs and paramedics as well. Next I want to talk about is the full education stuff for BFH and LPH. As you have noticed, there haven't been classes offered recently. I am working with the fall champions currently to set up some classes and build a new session in ULearn, so that way you guys can sign up for more. As soon as I meet with them and we can decide what are the best days, what cadence we're going to be offering this at, we'll get those out to you so you can sign up for those. These are not required for the current fiscal year, but this will definitely be a requirement for the next fiscal year. So you'll plan to see this on your competency assessment plan for FY24. So plan accordingly. Make sure you attend one of these sessions when you see them pop up. I will be definitely emailing you guys about those as soon as we figure out when and what days and what times and all that good stuff. Again, and I want to talk about the ACLS, BLS courses that are coming to BFH. This is a huge win, again, for all of us. We are going to have these closer to home. As you can see on this slide, we have some dates when those are going to be offered. These are subject to change. These are not finalized, but kind of gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. We have them starting in July, going all the way through December, and obviously we're going to have more after December. But what each of these days is going to look like is going to be comprised of 2 BLS classes from 0800 to 0900 and 0900 to 1000, as well as one ACLS BLS research course from 0800 and 1200. And I really truly want to highlight that these are not initial courses. If you need an initial course for BLS or ACLS, you need to go to UCH to get that completed. These are only research courses. And then, of course, we are still looking at offering these at LPH. Unfortunately, because of the construction and everything that's been delayed with that construction, it's just not going to work right now. It is still on our minds to get this completed. As soon as that is going to be possible, we're going to inform you guys and get this done and get these offered at LPH as well. Just a quick reminder about CAUTIs. There are specific criteria for CAUTI for indwelling catheters. We have to make sure that we do not utilize indwelling catheters unless it is specifically indicated and required based on the patient condition. And the big takeaways are that you need to have a physician or APP order to place one. There is that specific criteria to justify placing a indwelling catheter, and when in doubt, always refer to your resources, such as Lippincott procedures. This flyer on the right, if you haven't seen it yet, you probably will. This should be emailed out soon if it hasn't been already to you guys, giving you guys some background information on when an indwelling catheter is justified, when it's not, some alternatives to be used, and some indications of patient conditions that would require an indwelling catheter. Education calendar, you guys probably have all seen this already at some point. This is basically where all of our education offerings are going to be. So if you are looking for some CEs or you're looking for a specific class, it's going to be in this calendar. As I learn of dates and times, I'm putting this and updating this in real time. So if you're looking for an ESI class, if you're looking for some of the rollouts that we had in education on that, or if you're looking for our skills lab or something along those lines, this will be where you're going to find it. So please navigate to Teams and then go under Education and Education Schedule. If you click on that, this calendar will pop up, and then you have tabs for each month right here, so you can look through and see what is available to you. That way you can also plan your CEs ahead of time. Just a reminder, CEN and TCRN, there is going to be a review course coming up this fiscal year. CEN review is going to be happening in December 2023, and the TCRN is going to be happening in April 2024. Both of these are great annual goals, so keep that in the back of your mind. If you want to make this one of your goals, please make sure you talk to your leaders first to make sure that you can go and get reimbursed for going to this and getting your certification completed. And then more stuff. So these things right here are things that are kind of in the works, but I just don't have too much detail on these yet. But I want to let you guys know that we are looking at these and working on these. So System Streamlined ESI classes. So I know that has been really tough going to ESI classes. Some of them are offered really far away and you have to travel. We've had virtual in the past, but the virtual ones are going away. So what I'm working on is I'm putting a work group together throughout the system where we are going to be looking at these requirements, how each region tackles these requirements, and we're going to try to streamline this across the system and have classes offered everywhere, which would include BFH and LPH, I'm hoping, as well as having virtual offerings as well. I am also looking at CPI skills checkup. I am working with our behavioral health team to make sure that they can come to LPH and BFH to provide the skills checkup as well. This is a huge undertaking for them because behavioral health just recently took this on. So please be mindful of that and be patient. We are working on that as well. And then finally, as mentioned earlier, ACLS and BLS classes, we are working on bringing those to LPH. Unfortunately, due to construction, everything has been delayed with that. As soon as all that gets ironed out and I have more information, I will bring that forward to you guys. And then last and final thing is education requests. A lot of you guys have come up to me about specific education requests, and that is exactly the idea behind that. It is specific and it's asking for education to tackle specific topics, and that's perfect. And I really appreciate it, and thank you guys for that. You'll notice that some of the education, some of the skills that we're going to be having at our Advanced Skills Lab are coming because of those requests. So please keep those requests coming, make sure they're specific, and we'll get that education to you guys. I might not be the subject matter expert in all these asks, but if I'm not, I'm going to find out who is, and we'll see if we can get that to you guys ASAP. And with that, that is the end of the June updates. I'm going to get more stuff to you guys as far as updates next month, and I'll see you guys around. Take care. Bye.